Okay.
Okay, so you're going to change to a TS1.
I am.
Which is what I came to try out, but there's no reason why we can't try everything else, that's the point.
Yeah, definitely.
Video.
And I think that the initial thought process of taking you into TS2 is it's going to be a little bit more familiar, maybe from a weight perspective.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, it's
like a feather, isn't it? I mean, it really is. I
Yeah.
think I could probably just throw this further than I could actually hit a ball with it. It's like a little lightweight javelin.
It's so light. Actually,
Yeah.
a bit of a funny story on that. When my neighbour takes in a lot of my parcels, and when I got stuff delivered recently, they passed me the box, and he said, "I'm not sure there's anything in it."
Empty box it is.
It was a 35-gram shaft, so it was the weight of a chocolate bar, really. But yeah, let's see
what happens.
Yeah.
I think we're all right. He's looking for a ball, but he hopefully know where I'm going to be.
You can give him a shout if it's going anywhere near. Can't we?
First one's going to be duff. It's so light. It's going to take a bit of getting used to.
Yeah. What's your initial thoughts on how it feels in your hands and what it looks like behind the golf ball?
I like how it looks. I like how all the TS drivers look. They're very, to me, classic. They've got that kind of Titleist look that I always kind of like seeing.
Yeah.
And I've tried other different shapes and other makes, and I'm not a Titleist comfort because I'm a Titleist comfort. I've got Mizuno irons and I've got a Titleist stuff and I've got a TaylorMade long iron. So I'm not like, I just use Titleist. I just, like everyone, I think you have a favourite driver when you see it on the ground. And I know underneath and all the technology is different, but from the top it just looks right to me.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm always going to be slightly biased, but the products always look great, don't they? They're very, end of the day, Titleist are a golf company.
I'm an artist. I like craft, I like precision, and I like a little bit of style. But there's a certain style to Titleist I've always liked. And I've heard on the grapevine people said to me, "Oh, you shouldn't have Titleist because you're a low handicapper and it's only really for players," and that's wrong. Titleist have got a range for everybody now, and I just want to show that is true.
Yeah,
I think it's an old-fashioned idea that Titleist is only for the really low handicappers.
Yes, that's been a perception in the past, but I think with all the whole product line now, it offers it for everyone, really.
I don't think I was in golf at the time when it was like Titleist was for certain people and other clubs for certain people. For me, I'm just in it. So now I can try everything, and if I like something, I'll use it. And if it doesn't work, I'll find something else. It's not. You see, that felt really nice. And
visually, it was really good.
Shot, we're back to what I want.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be able to put a lightweight shaft in my hand. That sounds rude, but I know what I mean. Because my irons are heavier than most people's. Because I had the problem when I got first fitted for my irons. I was just swinging far too fast, out of control, and they put heavier ones in to stop that happening. Yeah. So I kind of used to slightly heavier clubs.
Again, all it is, John, it's just awareness, isn't it?
It's awareness, absolutely.
It's the word I would probably use.
Yeah, and I'm aiming slightly that way, but actually that's dead straight for where I was aiming.
Yeah, good.
So more than happy so far.
Well, that's
surprisingly happy, because I did really think that everyone says about the TS1 would work for me, but I'm thinking I'm quite a big lump, and I do get a bit erratic with the speed, so it might not be right.
Well, there's a couple of little sneaky Surefoot hosel adjustments there.
Okay.
And when I do my fittings, I don't always tell the player that I'm doing it, because I don't want there to be any reaction of, right, I've opened the face, or I've added loft, or I've de-lofted.
And I think that's right. To me, I'm just hitting a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can confuse me later and go, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, subtle changes that I think are definitely helping to align force a bit better.
TS1, you might have just tricked me with something else. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. That's all we're trying to do, isn't it?
and that's what I want.
Good, isn't it?
That's good. That's the height I want. Because I think it's the normal driver height.
Yeah.
But it's still the same direction.
Well, again, for your club speed and delivery, that was right on the money.
Yeah.
That apexed at 58 feet compared to we were in the low 40s earlier. So it's just you're going to get better carry distance, and you know what? I'd always prefer to have a little bit more carry distance. I mean, playing down at West Cornwall, it's going to run quite a lot anyway, isn't it?
People who play there, and there's some of the people will go and play there who are on the channel. 10th hole is a nightmare for me, because 10th hole is right down a dip. You have to play it right over the top of a very high point if you're aiming for the actual line itself. And the amount of times I hit into the hill and then I have to do a chip over it down to the next hill, because I can't get quite that height. But that would have gone over it with no problem whatsoever. Yeah. And I actually lose confidence, thinking, oh no, it's summer and I can't play off the winter season. Now I've got to go and try and drive it over this mound. But a longer club, or whatever you've done to this, is making it do what I want it to do. One
of the factors, it's actually got a bit more loft on it. So the irony behind this is that was one of your longest shots so far,
with actually a more lofted club,
but with slightly less ball speed.
Right. Yeah,
so because we're just align force better.
Yeah.
Well, I say align force better. We've got a better trajectory, and it's super efficient. But it's high. It's got way more carry distance. So, and even that one there, not to get too techie, but your landing angle at 31 degrees is still relatively shallow. So that is going to be.
We're still going to roll.
It's still going to roll. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the important thing. So that's gone from an average peak height of low 40s. What were we earlier? Average peak height of 44 feet with your own driver. Landing angle 26 degrees. Yeah. Great when you get it right, and there's nothing in the way. It's going to roll forever.
They're going forever. You feel like they're going forever.
But the carry distance on those last two was nearly 25 yards further, because it's got another 20 or so feet in the sky. With actually no more ball speed, it's pretty negligible.
So me being technical again, trying to be technical, would that be because of the extra length in shaft, as in going to a normal length driver, or is it all to do with the
the more loft on the club head is definitely helping?
Yeah, because it stays in the air longer. I would assume it doesn't drop out the sky.
Yeah. So, well, again, it's just launch, dynamic loft, launch. It gets strike related as well, but definitely the conditions that you're presenting the golf club to the ball is allowing you to hit it a bit higher, which is really good.
I'm just stretching out on the back a bit more just to see what happens. But again, all right, I've got underneath that a little bit, but you know, that's straight and it's high. To me, that's what I want.
So the interesting part here is I've kept that initial first shot in there, because that was, again, it's as soon as you put an unfamiliar club down with, you know, this is longer again, it's even lighter. The first couple of hits, it might take a bit of adjustment, but the average of the last 3 hits is like hugely different now. We've got much more height, and you know, as a result, that would be quite heavily our longest average.
And I think everyone, especially with the driver, they want more distance, but I'm not necessarily always about a lot of extra distance, but I do want that extra height to help me for various things in my course. You know, and I think a lot of people, especially if they play I know I play a lot of courses, but if they play one course all the time, wind's really blowing, they want a kind of set of clubs that matches every hole they need. So they know at a certain hole they pull out that club, or a certain hole they pull out that club. They get used to it, don't they? And that's how their handicap goes down at their own club when they have trouble going somewhere else.
Yeah, of course.
But I just want something that consistently does the same thing. And like you said, 3 in a row, for me, that's really good, 3 in a row. So it's becoming consistent.
Dispersion front to back, I would say, is almost more important, really.
Yeah.
So it's definitely in this sort of environment where you, on a driving range, on a practice ground, you can become a little bit nonchalant when it comes to intention and all that kind of stuff, because there is no consequence for hitting it left or right. So if I can get you to land it pretty much from the same distance, like those last 3, they're all within 3 or 4 yards of each other. So if you do go and play a foreign golf course,
that's almost hilarious, because they're landing in a similar spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you, like you do, play a lot of different courses with your vlogs, if you go with your watch or your rangefinder or something, well, I need to carry it X amount.
Yeah.
You know whether you can get it done or not, regardless of strike to a degree.
Yeah.
So even your slightly off centre one, if that is only, you know, a 4 or 5 yard drop off, then you can kind of quite happily commit to hitting your driver, can't you?
And people will know because they just watched the Perrenport video, and there's an awful lot of blind shots, blind drives, blind irons, and I don't commit to a blind shot because I don't know how far I'm going to hit it when I get the other side, or if there's anything dodgy. So I end up almost tapping them because I just want to get to a point where I can then see and then hit the next shot. But if I know, however long that was, whether it's 180 or 160 or 200, whatever, that it consistently does that, then I know that if I just swing it, that's where it's going to go. It doesn't matter about I can't see. It's going to land kind of where I want it.
Yeah.
Confidence again, isn't it? Confidence.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Confidence. Absolutely. How you doing? All right. Cool. Sit a couple more, John, for a moment.
Okay. It's almost like a shake your head in disbelief because it's doing what it has to do.
Well, yeah. Again, look at that one. I could just from sound. I know you didn't get all of it, and it's still not too far away. The drop off's definitely smaller.
But like I said, there's a lot less left to right dispersion. So even though they're a bit shorter, because they connect properly, it's still going in the direction I want it to go.
Yeah.
Which has got to be the most confident bit, really, in the end. Especially when you've got those narrow, tight drives, you have to go off and you think, oh, blimey, left and right, and we're in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, just for the camera as well, or for the people watching, there's actually a bit of wind coming off your left shoulder, isn't there?
Yeah.
And quite interestingly, might be the change in face angle that I'll talk to you about a bit later, but every one of your shots now is kind of holding line a little bit better. Yeah. We've had definitely more of a one-sided miss.
Again, that's in my dispersion pattern, because that's better than my dispersion pattern.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, so you'll be able to find most of these balls as well when you're finished. Hey. Okay, we try one with a bit more effort.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see what happens. Could go horribly wrong, but so a bit more effort always gives me that slightly left to right, but it's still nice. It still feels like it's in control, even though it's a light shaft, and I thought they're going to go horribly wrong when I tried to put a bit more into it. Okay, so we'll have one more and then you can tell me what you're going to do next.
Yeah, that's fine, John.
Yeah, so because I'm putting a bit more effort and not quite so control on the ground, but they're actually doing pretty well out there. Just the end result still works, even not quite a correct shot, right hit.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool.
What are you going to do to me next?
Alright. Alright, Cole. How you doing? You alright? How you doing?
Yeah, good.
Going well.
Going well, is it?
Yeah. Because the wind's picking up again. It's this quite a wild, swirly wind at the moment, I have to say. So the fact we got straight shots is pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Wow, it's getting windy. Don't trust the distances now, I didn't go anywhere. Okay, so what have we done, Ben?
So, tried your current driver.
Yep.
And as you kind of said at the start of the session, wanted to maybe achieve a little bit more height.
Yeah, and that's not what's happening with my normal driver at all. So
yeah, kind of reference a couple of challenging holes at West Cornwall where you feel like a little bit more peak height might help you increase your carry distance.
It gives you more confidence to know that you can attempt it. Where before you think, oh, no matter what I do with it, I'm going to hit the mound. So I still have to do it, but it's not going to happen. And every now and again it goes over and you think, oh, but I want that more often, not that, oh, will I do it, will I won't do it. And I know from what we've been doing that now I can. So that's already given me a lot more confidence about playing my own course with, whether it be a longer version of my own club or the newer one, whatever happens.
Well, what you've been hitting over the last sort of 15 minutes or so is TS1 12
which is the one we came down to look at.
Yeah, and you know what, you are a good candidate for this sort of product. Certainly the kind of backstory you've given me about your game. This is the 12.5 degree head, where at periods then we actually had you on 14 degrees. Yeah, so close, going slightly upright, shutting the face a little bit, aligning force a bit better, and that really helped with direction. Where
I've often joked that my shorter club, my shorter driver, is basically a 3-wheel with a big head. And it is, because it was a 12 degree adjusted to a 13 most of the time until Matt got his hands on it. So that kind of makes sense to me. I don't need to have a 9.5 degree driver. I'm not interested in getting that sort of low carry flight and extra distance that way. I want something I can consistently hit and know it's going to go in the right place.
I suppose the beauty of this as well is that was a more extreme kind of head setting, or as much as we can max out on this, but as you tweak and develop your technique and can continue to work with Matt, you've still got, it's actually 16 different head settings on here, where it sounds complex, but actually in the right hands we can maybe influence your strike a little bit. We can kind of make it work, and like I said before, we used the term a few times, but aligning force, that's all we're trying to do, isn't it? So actually, even though this is longer, it actually came out a bit slower because it was a bit more lofted. It was more efficient, because we got the carry distance and the total as well. But
we improved accuracy, we improved height, and in the end we actually improved distance. Which is I mean, I don't need to show you all the figures because I don't know if I can get all that on my screen, and that's not really what it's about. This is not a review video of this with lots of figures. This is just about how changing your club and being fitted by someone who knows what they're doing and are willing to change things for you, and also not just blindly give you this is what you have to have, and talk with someone as a friend, and also as a pro and a coach, and also a fitter. You get a good job at the end of it. You get something that will actually work for you. For me, this is about finding a club that works for me. Not about massively improving everything, but it works for me in the skill level I'm at, giving me the confidence to then move forward with it.
Good.
So,
nice.
What have you done now? Anything?
So I did make a slight tweak there. I've notched it down a little bit, and that might help us maybe grab a little bit more ball speed if we can hold on to the higher ball flight. Then that will it's just kind of tweaking it to see if we can refine it and make any more headway. But
I have to say, I'm already surprised, because I thought about the TS1 and thought it's going to be too light, I'm going to lose a lot of control with it, but actually that's not been the case. So I'm really pleased so far.
But let me change it again on the track now, and we'll have a look.
I don't actually mind that too much. It's gone down a little bit lower, but then that's just a one-off. It could just be a one-off.
Again, to re-emphasise that point, it's still the most influential factor is always the person holding it, isn't it?
It's always me. It's always going to be me.
We're just going to try and improve your patterns.
And to be honest, you could just completely lie to me and go, oh, I've just adjusted it to make it go lower, and I see it go lower and go left, but actually we just done the other way. Mentally I go, oh, that's because of the club. No, it's always because of me. It's just trying to take out some of my variables, and boy, I've got a lot of them.
But that was a good face strike. That was a good amount of ball speed. If we could hit that higher, no, that's not my job. That's more down to
Matt's job, and my job to get better, isn't it?
But it's
I like that. Can I have this one?
Again, you could throw a tea towel over those two. They're really close together, so.
Which is unheard of for me. And I know I felt that caught that one off slightly off.
Okay.
So I kind of knew it was going to go that way.
Yeah. Hear from the sound, couldn't you?
Just hear it as you struck it. But again, at my level, I wouldn't be worried about it being that far out.
I mean, that's not lost ball, is it? That's
No,
still in play.
That's the edge of the rough somewhere.
Yeah.
If not. Considering the fact I haven't used a full length driver for a year, since today. Do you think fatigue comes into it as well? A little bit?
Definitely.
Yeah? Because it is quite a workout being fitted.
Hitting
You
a lot
never
of
hit this
balls,
many drives in a day, do you? It's like being on the range and hitting 100 balls.
Of course it is, and think about what we said at the start of the session. You know, when you're on the golf course, you're hitting a shot every 3 or 4 minutes, maybe, and you kind of switch off, have a bit of a chat in between. But when you're kind of shelling peas out there, one after the other, it's you can lose a bit of intention.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There'll be one in the end. I'm just trying too hard now. I'll just try and put a bit more oomph. And that's the thing, innit? You lose control. And that's what I don't. That's why I want a club that I know I can just use the swing I swing at, and don't have to force it. Because when I force it, things go wrong.
Yeah, I understand that. Just before we finish that up, I just want you to. I've built a kind of lighter TS2 as well. Let's have a couple of hits with that.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So, what have we got now? You've gone back to a TS2, but you've lightened the shaft.
I've put a slightly lighter shaft in it, and I've put it on a similar head setting as I had in the original TS1.
Okay.
Because the ball speed off that first TS2 was decent as well. So, just want to see how this pans out. But the specification or the setup of the first TS1 is still looking like a really good result.
Yeah, I think so.
Hit a lot of good shots for that, didn't you?
Yeah, back on track now. I think that's another high handicapper thing. You just lose concentration for a few balls, and it goes wrong, goes wrong, goes wrong, and you think, oh, I can't get back to it. But you can. You just snap your head back into what you're doing.
You take a breather for a minute, don't you? Just try and absorb as much information. You think, right, okay, wind's off the left. You know, if I was hitting balls now, I'd definitely try and think, okay, I want my flight to look like this, so I'm going to swing the tool in that shape or whatever. And it's, I think the more clarity you have over the shot you're going to hit, you're probably going to hit a better shot, aren't you?
Yeah. Because that's what you would do when you weren't on the range. You'd be hopefully looking at a space on the fairway or a tree you've got to go aim for or something.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very conscious that when you do these sort of fittings, when you're on the range, when you do a gap test, it's not, you forget about the aiming bit. Yeah. It's more about, I've got to work how much distance I'm hitting. And then you see it afterwards, like a huge firework on the thing. Why didn't I think about aiming?
Yeah,
your brain just goes, doesn't it?
Practice is a funny one, isn't it? It's got to be, again, I think task related is always good. Play little games.
Yeah, you've got to make it fun, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because your brain goes and it becomes boring, it becomes monotonous. I have to say, I didn't expect to say it, but I think the TS1 feels better. Okay. Just feels like it's better in your hands. And I almost want it to be a TS2, but there's no stigma about having a TS1 or having.
Definitely not.
A friend of mine the other day has been fitted. He's been told he's got a latest shaft in it. People go, "No, you got a latest shaft." If it works for you, mate, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. There's no such thing as a latest shaft, men's shaft, whatever.
One thing I absolutely love actually about the new speeder stuff is that it's actually the way it's kind of branded.
Go on, yeah.
Where are we? So this one here, the ladies one, just exactly the same colour.
Yep.
It just says R3 on it. And
who's going to know?
No one's going to know anyway. It's,
Hey, if you can get me a pink shaft, I've got pink shoes coming. I'd be really happy to have a pink shaft. Yeah.
You kind of get the idea though. There often is a stigma attached to it.
Interesting, isn't it? Look at the dark and we're going there now.
Yeah, I definitely feel like where we were in that.
Yeah, I think this is just a little experiment in the end, and I think where we were is absolutely where I wanted to be. They are a lot straighter for me. They're a lot higher for me. So confidence-wise, that's all I've ever asked for. So, and there's nothing wrong with tweaking another one and trying it, and then that doesn't work.
If anything, that just gives us more clarity, doesn't it?
Yeah, every time I put this one down, I'm going, I've got to really try and concentrate because it might not go right.
Yeah.
But the other one, I thought, well, I can actually stretch a bit more if I want to. It's still pretty much doing what I want it to do. So there's a confidence about what you've got in your hand straight away.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And even think with the TS1 here as a whole package, that's only 275 grams.
Yeah.
Really light. So even down to the lightness in the grip. That's why I'm going to keep you in these shafts as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's going to really distort the swing weight if we go into something much shorter and heavier. So.
Okay.
I think that we had you in A3 is the head setting.
Okay.
And I think that's where
it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think we finish up at that. And I think I'm really pleased.
Very interesting, gentlemen.
That's all right. Thank you, mate. I'm sorry I couldn't just show off properly.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, you're about to lose all your stuff. Right, so the wind's starting to pick up. Last few shots are pretty erratic. I'm just getting really tired, and that is part of a fitting issue and a fitness issue as well, kind of both. And we were just trying out something at the end, so it's not really important even if you see that bit. It wasn't about that. What we've really worked out is TS2 in the original settings was nice, similar to what I've already got with my shorter driver.
Yeah.
TS1, which I'm never sure if it's going to be for me, actually really was. Much better height, much better dispersion pattern. In fact, they're all pretty much the same direction and landing in a similar spot. For me, that's just unheard of, one after the other. I'm not talking 10 or 12, but we're talking 3s and 4s of them. For me, that's great. And any other details about this we need to discuss?
Not especially. Again, when it comes down to the grip as well here, because that is about 20 grams lighter than the standard Tour Velvet, I noticed that you have got a larger grip in the...
I've got quite big hands, I think.
Quite big hands. So what we'll have to do there is probably have to pack that out with a couple of layers of tape.
Yeah.
But if we go too overboard, again, because it's quite sensitive,
that then misses up the shoes, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's going to distort the swing weight a little bit. So you need to be wary of that. But the way it's set up, I think is great. Like I said, it's a little bit upright. It's a little bit closed from a face angle perspective. But no, that's good. 40 gram regular.
Amazing.
Speeder.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ben. You are a star.
Cheers, John.
And thank you very much to Ben, to Titleist for letting me have a chance at just trying this out. It's not a sponsored video in any way. And thank you very much to Yelverton Golf Club for putting up with us. We've had the course manager here. We've had a couple of people watching. That was scary. But that's fine. And that's what we do on Big OGGIE Golf, and we're just trying to be as genuine as possible. So. I may show you some figures, I may not, but that's not what it's about. It's just about saying that you go to a fitting for whatever club you want to use, you try out the one you think you like, This time it actually will end up being the one that we thought would be, but sometimes it might not be, but that doesn't matter. It's about getting trust with the fitter, and obviously kind of a bit of a lesson as well, and it kind of all works, and it's one package to improve your golf.
Just got to test it. Yeah, if you've ever got any queries of what head design you think you might need, or you've read up online or in magazines, you have to test it. There's no substitute for hitting balls with with a bit of advice as well. So,
and obviously if you're in the Titleist and you're in the southwest, this is the man to speak to.
Come and find me.
Yeah, I'll put Ben's link on the details below, or obviously just contact the Team Titleist website, and they tell you when there's lots of different Titleist fitting area days all around the country.
Yeah, if you go on to titleist.co.uk, you can book online for Titleist Thursdays, which we have a few.
We just started them again.
Different regions.
Recently, yeah.
But failing that, there's lots of. We're never too far away. Myself and my colleagues. So, yeah.
Lovely. Thanks very much, my friend. You've been an absolute star today.
Cheers, John. No trouble at all.
Thank you very much for watching, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hope you enjoyed it. As I said, it's not the most exciting video to some people, but it was exciting for me because I've just hit some lovely shots today.
Cool.
You never know. See you on the course very soon. Bye for now.
Thanks, guys.